riots and what's happening. And some of the stuff he was telling me, I said, you got to tell the fellas this about just kind of what's going on in the world. We see what's happening. And it kind of goes with what we're going to talk about this morning, what we've been talking about the last couple times, is rest. Are you resting in the Lord despite all this stuff that he's going to talk about? Go ahead.
All right, guys, I need y'all to listen up very carefully because the news does not report this crap. Okay, and this is real. What I'm about to tell you, I've been hearing from sheriffs in counties along the Texas border, all the way up to San Antonio, Grayson County. I mean, these are guys, their feet on the ground. They're not reporters. This is not a website. Okay, the stuff that the cartels are doing is just, I mean, it's Adolf Hitler stuff. The cartels and the, call them radical Muslims, whatever. The cartels and the Muslims have formed an alliance, and the cartels are getting the Muslims here. Now, the border's been shut down. Trump has shut that down. But millions of them, the Muslims are here, and we'll deal with that. But the cartels, they're digging tunnels under the Rio Grande. They're building temporary bridges across the Rio Grande. And when the Border Patrol or the sheriff's deputies catch it, they just go down the river. They got more money than we did. And they don't have more money than we do. But the Biden administration stripped our law enforcement for Border Patrol to fight this very stuff by 40% and then opened the borders. And then pointed the finger at the law enforcement. So, I mean, I heard this in detail 10 days ago from a group down called the Coastal Bend Sheriff's Association in Texas. There's 9 different regions in Texas for the sheriffs. And Border Patrol was there, the game wardens were there, the Texas Rangers were there, numerous county sheriffs were there, ICE was there. Texas is about to fire ICE. And the United States government has a thing they call the War Department after World War II, where every state can fire something like ICE, because all of the governors, just think of that California governor, letting them run ransack all over California. Each governor can tell ICE what to do, but he says he can't do anything about all that's going on out there. Abbott's about to fire ICE, and ICE is mad about it, and he's going to turn it over to the Texas National Guard. And all those guys on the National Guard are going to get paid very well to do what ICE is supposed to be doing. We don't get rid of everybody, we get rid of the ones that are the problem. All the murderers they let in here and all that stuff. So with all that being said, I'm going to tell you 2 things. We heard about a dozen. 2 things, and my 2 guys and myself, we were based in Austin for this meeting. And the meeting was in Goliad, so we drove down. When we got back in the car, we didn't say a word for about 30, 45 minutes. And we're good friends. It's just so shocking what we heard. And they're not telling us. We got to do a presentation. I do a technology that helps law enforcement find felony warrants and things like that directly from the car. And so we got to do a presentation to the group on our product, and then we just sat back and listened to the 2-hour meeting. And the 2 instances I'm going to tell you about, one is called a rape tree. It's exactly what it sounds like. During the Biden administration, before the Biden administration, they were finding them. They find 5 a year. They found 2,000 when Biden was president. And what a rape tree is, the cartels set them up. It could be here to that tree right there. They bring, say, 30 girls in. They go as young as 5 years old, and they kind of stop at 30 years old, unless it's a 40-year-old with small kids. So they bring them across the border. They sit them down, and these women don't know what's about to happen to them. They have no idea. Kind of like the Jews going into the gas chambers. They had no idea. They give playing cards to each one of these kids, or women, females, and then there's usually 3 traffickers with each group. And then they have a deck of playing cards, and they pull up the first card. Whoever has the first card met gets raped at that tree in front of everybody. Brutally beaten, raped, you name it. Break their bones, whatever. The more they resist, the more they get beat in front of the whole group. And that's a signal to the group of what happens to them if they resist or they try to run. Okay, and I'm just going to stop that right there. The pictures we saw was crazy. One picture I will talk about is they had a picture of a Christmas tree like any of us would have in our house, a tree about that size. It was so full of undergarments, because what they do is they rape the girls and they put their undergarments on the tree as a message to us, to our law enforcement, to the United States that they're here. There were so many undergarments you couldn't tell it was a tree. And that was 2 weeks. They move them every 2 weeks. Since Trump's taken over, they found maybe 500. So it's closed down, but they're still out there. The mainstream media is not doing anything about it. They're not mentioning it. And what scares me is the youth. Y'all know Bill Wade, his daughters, my son. My son got approached by one of these Muslim people. They're complacent about it. Well, it'll work out. It won't work out. It's not me. It's not y'all. maybe Caleb, because he's younger. It's the young people, we gotta get aware of this and make them stand up and do something.
Patrick, who did they get approached by? Who did you said that he got approached by?
Me and my son in Austin, we got approached by 2 Muslim guys that down at the
Okay, so this is a Muslim organization.
Muslims and cartels combined.
Cartel.
They're in bed with each other.
I mean, you think about that.
And it's just pure evil. Now, the second thing that is so horrible down there, they traffic men too, mainly teenage boys. What they'll do is they'll get a group, they do the exact same thing. They'll get playing cards, they'll get each one of them. And then whoever has the matching card, they shoot him in one shoulder and in the opposite leg and let him sit there and squirm and bleed to death and everything. And this would be on someone's ranch, not necessarily on the border. It's gone north. And they'll shoot him, and then when they're the group's ready to move on, they just put one in his head and leave. After he sat there for probably 2 hours, squirming and crawling and screaming. And these men are sitting there watching it. And if they have families, they will rape the wife or the daughter of the families by the tree. Okay, and the same thing, it's an intimidation thing to let them know. So, and if it's this, actually I said 3 things. How they're getting American women, just, it could be any race, but people who live here are kidnapping with your daughters and your granddaughters. This may be ill. They're coming up with new things to do. They walk up, one might walk up to your daughter's car and ask for directions, and they got a little map in their hand. They'll either have someone come from behind her and blow dust, or clap it like that in dust, and it puts her out like that. Now, if your daughter or granddaughter, this is why they need to know this stuff. If your daughter or granddaughter gets taken, she's gone. They have her out of the country and doped up within 48 hours, and they quit giving her dope, so she's addicted in some foreign country. She doesn't even know where she is. She's gone. 48 hours, they have them out of the country. The cartel is that good at getting them out of here. Now, these sheriffs are sitting there, and they're talking about joint task force back and forth, and how they're going to fund this, that, and the other, and we're listening, and then we start asking for clarification on some of this stuff. I mean, it's just horrid what they're doing. So, and what bothers me is the younger generation, Caleb's age, are complacent about it. Oh, it's okay, it'll work. It won't happen here. That'll never break. It's happening. It's real. And these are guys that have boots on the ground. The farthest north rape tree they found was 30 miles south of San Antonio, so downtown San Antonio. It's coming north. So this is public service. Please educate your kids and grandkids to be on their toes at all times. And don't have them go to Walmart. Walmart and Target are 2 of the big areas in the parking lots. They'll put one thing they're doing is they'll put a zip tie on the back door of like an SUV on the passenger side. And that means that car is marked. That lady driving that car is marked. That means they have eyes on her. So you could be, and then they have people driving around the streets, and they see one of those ties, they'll bump the back of her car, do something to isolate her, she's gone, like that. And you just never see her. They'll find her empty car. Nobody knows what happened to her. And the police readily admit they don't have any tracking device. That's kind of the stuff we're trying to solve for them, but they don't have something that can solve that problem. And the cartels know it. It's not the Muslims kidnapping, that's the cartels. But the Muslims here, they're full up, they've arrested people down there, Muslims committing crimes. And they tell them while they're sitting in jail, this country's ours. Just like the 2 guys that approached my son and I in Austin. This is our country. This is our state. Y'all don't know. You think you got your life? Give us 5 years. You won't have this life. I mean, we got to wake up the young people, because it's not going to really hurt our lives, because it's not going to take over by then, but it'll take over by the time Caleb's my age. And I don't want to lose this country. And we got some really nasty things happening here. And again, I did not read this in a book. I did not hear from a reporter. These are county sheriffs in the state of Texas, ICE, Texas Rangers, Border Patrol. They're all talking about this. And they don't know why the mainstream media won't pick it up. Well, they know why, because they're paid off.
Yeah.
But we're not ever going to hear it like that. So please, please, please talk to your sons, daughters, and grandkids.